Hello everyone, we're going to follow up with CycleEdge today to see where things are heading. Remember last week I shared a video on CycleEdge as well, how the market at turning points exactly at the weekly wrap-up video, remember? So with the weekly wrap-up video we had a Thursday and a Friday, but I had initially put Friday as a turnaround for gold, and this is the daily chart. This is how it is. All right, so the market is here as you can see, and just closing gap going up. And what I want to share with you is what CycleEdge is saying to us, right? So let's open CycleEdge. So this is for Monday, right? And it's saying, listen, it's a possible swing trade day. So we already had a swing day on a Thursday, Friday, which we talked about in the videos, daily videos. So now I've got a high tension day, which I want to make use of. So the information here obviously is important, and I've done a whole report for the full month, right? So here you can see from the 29th of June, which is today, Monday, to the 31st of July. So this is like going all the way into the 31st of July, daily, weekly, blah, 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 okay? And first of all, what I want to do before I look at the daily, which is important, is the color coding, right? It's already telling me this is a high tension critical day, and we have an hour coming up at 9:53 and it's 9:06 at the moment my time. Okay, so we don't have to rush it or anything, we'll just chill out. So 9:53, and then we've got 11:05, which they're both are okay actually. All right, they're both okay, so we can do both of them, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock kind of thing, right? So let's take a look at the weekly as well. Before we do the weekly, let's take a look at all the information. First of all, you'll get a daily insight. Let's make this a little bigger. Right, there we go. Daily insight. So high tension day suggests a structural pivot setup per back test, whatever. 4 trend window signals active, multi-day directional context in play. Multi-day directional context in play. So we started on Thursday, Friday to turn around. This is still in play. This is important to know because it's giving me bias, saying, listen, if the market's been like turning around, going up for the past, I don't know, 2-3 days, just remember this is continuing. We don't have a structural change at the moment. Build position sizing around this date. Confirm with session open price action. Alert windows today, 1:15 to 4:45. Let's see what happened 1:15 to 4:45. This is the opening, so that's 1:15 to 4:45. All right, so this is in the middle of nowhere, nothing really to talk about here. All right, the rest of the hours, as you can see, I've kind of like drawn vertical lines here. And that's the impulse market coming back. It came back to the 50. There were no trading hours there, so it's fine. No trading hours, and as you can see, it pushed up from there. So we're going to wait. We're not going to rush a trade. Also, there's a session here from 2 o'clock to 5:30. Sorry. So from 2 to 5:30, we also need to be aware if there's a time period, and pretty much there's a 5:39. All right, so 5:40, let's round it up. Or if you're using a 15-minute chart like I do, you could say, okay, that's like, 5:30. Let me take a look at the market at 5:45 to see where we're at. Obviously, you want to do planning before 5:45, right? So if you're going to trade that 5:40 my time or 5:45 my time, what you have to understand is that's going to be, you have to convert that to your time, and whatever your time is, then that's when you're going to trade it. So that's 5:40 my time. So according to your time, you have to check it out. As you can see, that's my time zone, Istanbul. All right, I don't live in Istanbul, but that's the time zone. All right, so that's how it is. And then I've got a 7:15, all right, which I also should keep an eye out for if I'm managing the trade and so on. It's a routine day, and these are like grade kind of A levels if we get the right price. If we don't get a right price, I don't care about the grading. Okay, so that's important to know. Let's take a look at the weekly as well, because we should have a weekly insight, right? This is Saturday weekly insight. Now, macro events this week. So Tuesday, June 30, cycle phase transition. Phase window of June 30 to October 28. So 3 to 4 months. So we have a cycle shift. This is really not going to be too much for us because that's like a long period. But it's good to know that there's a market shift which started on the 30th of June. That'll go to October 28. Why? Because 30th of June is tomorrow. Okay. Trend analysis this week reaches a 19-way peak on Saturday, July the 4th. Obviously for us, that's not going to be really important because it's Saturday, but what does that mean? It means Friday is the last trading day before Saturday. So if the market has a direction, that Saturday being for us Friday trading day is going to be important, and this is why I keep Saturday and Sunday as an observation day. All right, don't just look at the market Monday to Friday, because if there is something hot happening with the cycles on the weekend, we want to know about it. Why? Because Saturday becomes a target. Okay, Saturday the market's closed, but Friday now becomes a target. Key pivot point. All right, so Friday is possibly going to be a trading day for us. If the market moves in a direction which Monday is implying that it should, then when is my next trading day for gold? Check out your members area, you will see. And then this will make sense. It'll be like, okay. I've also calculated some price points. So support 4,025 and 54. Let's put those in. 4,025 is going to be, well, it's going to be 37.5, and 54 is just there. So these are like support locations, which are fine. Now let's take a look at this impulse wave. Market comes back 50%. There's a trading hour here. I will take this, once we see if it doesn't break out. If it breaks out, I'm not going to do it. Why? Because if it breaks out, I want to wait for a good buy kiss to come to a trading hour, and then I want to go with it. All right, so if it breaks out, until then I'm not going to do it. But if we muck around here, I'm happy to take a U-turn around here. Okay, maybe I'll box it, maybe I'll just chuck a UE and put a tight stop loss. Okay, now that 1103, okay, that we mentioned in Monday, for Monday, all right, so 0953, 1103, I've marked them in here, as you can see. It's a 1 hour period, okay, 10 to 11. So we're just going to chill out and wait, so we don't have to rush a trade. Okay, you don't have to jump up and down, just let the trade unfold into the hours. It's already given us the bias, so we know which direction to go. This allows me to see also where, let me move this up a little bit here. Okay, so I know where the target is as well. So if the market does dip down here, I'm also, I also want to be on top of the game. All right, and enter here the trading hour as well. Okay, so that's that. And what else do I have on the weekly? Let's check it out. All right, now in order not to inundate you with loads and loads of information, when you get CycleEdge in the members area starting as at next week, okay, I'm not going to include these pricings. Why? Because they will change as the day is going. Okay, so this is for the full week. Okay, and you can see I've got price levels here, right? The trade setup matrix. So we got a support level, got a resistance level. Actually, I should add that 4,085 there as well. All right, and that is 4,085 there. So that's a zone as well. So there we're going to have to cover the trade, right? So we have some pricing. Okay, but as the market moves on, these will change. Okay, so what I'm going to do now with these cycles, I'm going to get rid of the exiting, and I'm just going to cherry pick a little bit. What you're going to find different here is in the previous members area, what we had was, you know, a day or two, like, you know, Friday. All right, so Friday is a trade day. We know Friday is the day. Okay, so now you might say to yourself, but Marty, we got a bunch of stuff here. All right, it's not a problem, because more information is not bad information if it's quality information. As you can see, I've got a bunch of possible swing trade days here, and I've marked them in with the days and how good they are. Okay, and I'm only going to give you grade A stuff. One other thing is, if you get confused with the trade days, really made it easy, then you just look at this column. Let me just show you. Give me 1 second. Let's move up a little bit from here. Just a second. All right, here we are, right? All you have to do is look at this level. Just bear with me. Where are you? Here. Cycle vector. Just look here. You see it's got Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So Monday, Tuesday, we're like going in. Okay? And Thursday, Friday is going to target out. So from there to there is going to be our bread and butter this week. Okay? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But overall, okay, this is your bread and butter. Okay? The reason I've added in pricing is because if when CycleEdge becomes, you know, usable by members, you'll be able to put in whatever price you got for whatever you're trading, and it's going to give you those levels. Okay, so as the market changes, whenever you open your screen, you plug in the current market price at the top here, and it's going to like say, okay, so this is the current market price, this was the recent high low, and that was the price. That's the recent low from the 24th of June. That's the current price when I did this report, and it's going to tell me, okay, you know what, those are the zones you need to look out for if you're going to enter the trade. Then what I have to do is match time and price. So if I'm completely like lost with the technical analysis, this will give me a guide. Obviously, doing your technical analysis is the better way to do things, right? But this will also give you like a guide. Okay, it's a guidance, like 4025, 4054. So, you know, if we come down to 4025 today, I also see that's a 37.5 on my Fibonacci, which is what we like. And if it's a trading hour, that's it. We're going in and we're going heavy guns. All right, so it's like really, really practical once you get used to it. So first of all, we're going to carry on with just, you know, CycleEdge. I'm going to put the information of CycleEdge in the members area, and as we progress, we'll see how we go. And then if everything goes honky-dory, next year we'll have the software. Then you can just put any asset you want, shares, stocks, whatever you're trading. So don't get, you know, confused with all the information. As you can see, this is where the pricing is. Okay, this is a pricing zone, and this is your first cycle days anchor projected. What I might do is actually I might take this and put it one down under, so that the prices are all together and the trade days are all together. All right, so this is also important. If we have, for example, something that's peaking or entering, then, you know, it's something you want to take a look at. All right, so we've got the 2nd of July here, which is Wednesday. All right, and here you can see that this thing is like peaking out on the 2nd of July. So if we're going to have a rush, 2nd of July is the first place you want to be covering your trade. Okay, so you can like follow it into that. And then, as you can see, we have the 5th of July, which is a Sunday, so we're not going to worry about that. So that's good. The other ones we have here, as you can see, Monday, Tuesday, heading into Thursday, Friday. Okay, so if the direction and the bias is right, we should go into Thursday, Friday, just going up on the pullbacks. Okay, and then I've got some grey days, as you can see here, to see if today, the 29th, if we have anything coming in. And yes, we have. All right, so we've got a Monday coming in. Look where that's going to. That's going into the 9th of July. So we've got a few days ahead of us. That's good to know. Also, today's the 29th. I've got a peak here, which means that this has done its job. It's peaked out, right? So now this is coming into Action Jackson mode. When is it coming into Action Jackson mode? 8:22 my time. And look at that. Let's see where 8:22 is. This is 8:45. That's 8:30. Nice and easy. All right, 8:22. It was in action. This is your 8:30. So we're all good here. All right, if we just know how to read it. And it's like having tomorrow's newspaper in your hand today. Okay, and I've got some actionable notes here, so you can just make notes of. And underneath here, obviously, this is the full month of this is for the full month of June. All right, because I took a few days from June, and if I just do that, it's gonna give me that as well. All right, and I've also come up with some pricing here. It's good that you come down. I'll be giving you this as well. Hopefully, if we don't freeze, because it's a heavy program, it is heavy software. You won't believe how many stuff it's calculating. As you can see, I've got 4,055 here where the market is. Okay, and what we're looking for here, right? I've got a composite of 4,050. So that 4,050 is here, just above the 4,000, just below the 4,055. So that's also a good price zone. And then we're going into July. All right. So we're going to see how things pan out. And here is Monday for you to take a look at. And like I said, I am going to be using the day as an opportunity to kind of flow with it. So I'm going to take this and put this to 4,050. Okay. And 4,025. Why? Because that's what the system told me. All right. According to the prices I put in today, 4,025, 4,050, according to what I've got on the monthly here. Okay. And that's it. And we'll see how things pan out. Now, as things pan out, I'll do update videos so we can follow CycleEdge together. So it's all like, open and transparent and so forth. And that's it. This is Monday. All right. So I'm going to stop this and make this part 1.